When I told people that I was getting into stand-up comedy, they all laughed. But they're not laughing now. Kia ora koutou, Markie here. A slightly different video today, one that I'm kind of doing quite spontaneously because I've had some interest in my comedy workshops, and I thought it'd be good to just get something out on YouTube that kind of expresses that. Now, the reason you're not looking at my face and you're looking at this laughing face is it's early in the morning. Well, early in the morning for me, and I'm still in my pants, which in UK parlance means undies. And unwashed and groomed, so therefore I don't want to inflict my horrendous morning visage upon you. So got this as a background, and it may be a little bit shaky because I'm holding it, because it's all really spontaneous and in the moment and in true ADHD style. So if you want to know more about ADHD, see my videos on neurodiversity, and there's a huge link between comedy and ADHD. Most comedians have ADHD. It's almost a professional requirement. You don't have to have ADHD to be a comedian, but it helps enormously. So why am I shooting this video now? So I've had some interest in, I used to, back in the UK, I ran comedy workshops, and I've had some interest, and I kind of been wanting to do some demystifying videos on comedy for a little while, really. I had a few things in mind on a long list of other things that I wanted to cover. So this video is just a short one, and it's basically, see the shaky camera work there, it's basically what is a joke. Now, it seems a bit sad sometimes to demystify comedy, really, because in a way, if you kind of break it down, doesn't it spoil the fun? But hell, we're going to do it anyway. So the joke I began with isn't one of mine, unfortunately. I wish it was. That's Bob Monkhouse. And essentially most comedy, and particularly a joke, the joke form of comedy, and not all comedy is jokes. Jokes are basically a part of stand-up comedy. Old school comedians used to just tell a whole series of jokes. It's funny, I watched some videos the other day of people like Mike Reed, and I even strayed into the dark territory of Bernard Manning. And basically they just told a series of jokes, and they weren't even their own, it wasn't even their own original material. It was just kind of, jokes that were doing the rounds. But a joke, best way to describe a joke is, sorry, I'm losing the plot now with this background. The best way to describe a joke is, imagine you are a passenger in a car, and it's a familiar route. Maybe it's a route that you normally drive. The driver is, say, taking you home from a particular place, and you know the route like the back of your hand, and then you come to a particular place where there's maybe a fork in the road, and the driver goes shooting off in a completely different direction to where you were expecting to go. Now I know when that happens to me, it's like my internal organs and viscera and my astral body are kind of going in one direction, and the car goes in the other, and it kind of takes a few moments for those all to line up again, and it's kind of quite a shock and quite a surprise. It's a kind of psychological kind of moment. That effectively is what comedy and most jokes are about. You're expecting one thing and you get another. Hence that joke that I started off with the Bob Monkhouse joke that I used as a beginning example. You're kind of expecting it to be one thing. They're not laughing now, and of course there's a whole different meaning to the not laughing now, a whole different significance to that. So you're going off on a different road. So that essentially is the breakdown of the joke. Now the joke comes in two parts. There's the setup and the punchline, and how you do that is really important, and it's very kind of subtle art. And what I found is that the words you use in the setup can be really critical, and even one word, you can just change it by one word, and it can kind of change from something that's not funny to something that's funny. There's a certain kind of rhythm has to go with it. There's loads of other stuff like this. There's one of the things I can talk about is the joke train and the joke stations. That's something for another video. That's a concept that I use in comedy. There's we're going to do some more on comedy and demystifying it, breaking it down, how to be more funny, how to sell a joke, all that kind of thing. But that's just a kind of a quick demystification. That essentially is the breakdown of jokes. Which kind of, you know, is a bit like kind of, I don't know, it's a bit like destroying Father Christmas or something, maybe, I don't know. So with comedy workshops, what I have done in the past is offer kind of boot camps for you know, brand new virgin comedians, and help them you know, find their shtick or their persona. Look at writing material, delivery, everything really, and also general performance skills. So how to use a microphone effectively. A lot of people kind of really fumble with a microphone, and how to project if there isn't a microphone, general performance skills, confidence skills. I also use things like hypnotherapy to boost confidence and performance. So there's loads and loads of elements to that. The comedy workshops that I did, I kind of were really successful, and a lot of the people that were on the workshops are out there, you know, now on the circuit doing really well, which is fantastic. So for those of you who are new to the channel, Mark the Demystifier is a channel that's on YouTube. It's also available on Patreon. I always encourage people to sign up as a patron on Patreon, because that helps support the work that I do. Details will eventually be in the description below. So this channel is very broad in its scope, and it covers all kinds of things, often areas where there are a lot of misperceptions, or areas of complexity that often aren't explained very well. And my mission is to make them clear and understandable, and to spread, you know, knowledge and enlightenment where there was kind of confusion and ignorance. That's what we're all about on this channel. So my day job, I'm a psychotherapist, and a lot of the videos that you'll find on here are of a therapeutic nature or of a self-help nature. I'm particularly interested in a condition called retroactive jealousy. There'll be lots of videos on that on here, but loads of stuff. And if you sign up as a patron, you can actually request me to cover a topic, or you can ask questions, and I will do my best to address them. I don't use the word answer because I don't have all the answers, but you know, I can discuss and give it some thought. So thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button and subscribe, and please think about being a patron, because it helps me do what I love doing, and my ultimate goal is to help people, because I think knowledge in the right circumstances can heal. Maybe not knowledge about comedy, but it can help enhance people's lives, and, you know, so maybe set you off on a different career direction. Okay, I'm going to go and breakfast and shower and make myself a presentable human being, and I will follow up on this series with some more top tips on comedy and demystifying comedy. Rangimarie.